Any updates on the XLV? Is it turning into a bullish trend here?
It's not yet. I mean, you're going to have some opinions on this. This is kind of where the rubber meets the road, Andrew. If you look at, the XLV, just to give you some levels here, it's trying. It's really trying to get back. It would have to get above 71 though, and it's at 69 and change. So it's got some, as we would say in Thunder Bay, Ontario, it's got plenty of hay to bale.
Yeah.
And I don't think you guys run around saying that there are a bunch of positive fundamentals going on in healthcare.
No, it's still pretty weak.
So they still have to report the quarters.
Yep.
I mean, the Cerners of the world and the HCAs, stocks you guys don't like. What are your least favorite three, by the way? Or three favorite shorts?
Cerner still.
It's been a great call.
Yeah, HCA has a lot of downside to it. And then I'd probably say MD. Mednax.
MD? Right.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say MDRX.
Oh, well, yeah, that one too.
That one too. But MD, really?
But Cerner, yeah, I mean, Cerner, the thing with Cerner and Allscripts is that they kind of trade as a group.
Yeah.
And so
it's all one big
but Cerner, from a valuation perspective as well as liquidity, I think it has the most downside to go.
Yep.
Especially through the first half of 2017, because they sold a lot of business that they just are not going to be able to sell again because the market's not there to support it. And then with Mednax, I mean, it's kind of very constantly surprised by how well that stock has held in there, given how much they disappoint and how poor that management team communicates. And the VRAD deal is just a mess. There's a lot of integration issues, and it just feels like it's all culminating. It's got to culminate into like one big reset that just hasn't really occurred yet. And maternity continues to be weak. So I think Q4 is going to be another bad quarter for them.
I got to look it up here. The trending, sometimes the issue with Mednax is the short interest.
Yeah.
So short interest, for those of you that don't know, actually you can look at the style factors from last week. Josephine, if you could show that. I don't know if I put some doodles on that. Yeah, I did. Look at the check mark. Oh my God, isn't that great? So I was making a check mark to institutional clients yesterday when I was emailing them this table of data. And sometimes you just send them the table of data and you just don't say anything. They can see it. A big check mark makes it pretty obvious. But being long high beta is the point. Last week, high beta up 0.3%, up 21 for the year. But look at high short interest. It's still up 12 for the year, up 6% in the last quarter. High short interest actually pulled back last week. That's kind of a proxy for the crappy stuff. If you look at Mednax's short interest is all the way up to 9.25%.
Yeah.
So that's pretty high.
I think it's like what peaked out historically around 12-13%.
Yeah. Okay.
In that neighborhood. So
when you get these kind of markets that don't go down, I mean, Cerner's only got 5% short interest, 5.7%.
Yeah.
So that one's better.
Well, Cerner. I mean, the great thing about the Cerner short, and I know we talked about it a lot, but it's. It has a really long tail to it because it's the market's moving away from them, and it's not going to happen in a quarter. It's going to happen over a span of 3 years.
Yeah.
And so it's just going to be death by 1,000 cuts, and the multiple is just going to continue to come in as a result.
I love that. I love that when an analyst tells me that this short has got a longer term tail to it, and it's just going to be death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, that's like only Hedgeye could say that because first of all, we have the platform to say it. We have the chops to do it because we are short sellers in an accurate way. Some of these have been great shorts. I mean, really, healthcare's just been awful this year. If you were to go long something in health, I've been dabbling, toying, toe in the water, whatever the hell Wall Street wants to call it. It's just buying it. Biotech and biotech to me looks less. It's weird, but it looks less risky from a signaling perspective because it's been going down for longer.
And it's coming a lot, right? It's still down 30%. From its highs, and some of these big biotechs, like you look at a Gilead or they have a lot of cash and their valuations are pretty, dare I say, cheap.
Yeah.
But it's just all about catalysts. In terms of the process that Tom's developed and that we work in, it's not we pretty much look at fundraising and kind of the macro cycle when it comes to biotech.
Yeah, it's a big macro.
Yeah, because the fundamentals don't always matter as much, but
something like Gilead, this thing was at 117 in 2015. It's going to close the year in the low 70s.
Yeah.
These are, I'm not a value guy. I'm looking for a catalyst. Like if this company's got, and it's cheaper.
We talked to. There's a lot of clients sniffing around that stock. It's pretty.
I like the smell of that.
But in terms of other things to, looking to get long, we're going to do a refresh of our themes presentation the first 2 weeks of January.
Oh, good.
And so we're going to look at things like behavioral health as a potential area to get long.
Oh, there's been some disasters there.
Yeah. I mean,
psycho wards and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the issues too with healthcare is that it's the leverage.
What's
right?
What's that psycho stock that got pounded the other day?
American Addiction Centers.
What is the ticker of that?
I can't remember off the
Being
top of my
long
head.
American Addiction Centers.
AAC.
AACI?
American Addiction.
Oh,
I don't know that ticker. off the top of my
AAC
head.
Holdings?
That might be
Yeah,
it.
AAC. Oh my God, it's gone from 45 to 7.
Yeah. I mean, anything with leverage, anything that's leverage to pricing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you look at what happened to UHS just off of one news article around aggressive.
Yeah, UHS.
Trying to keep patients in the
Those are some
in
scary
the ward a
headlines.
little bit longer.
See, AAC looks a lot better than UHS. I'm just looking at my screening process. So by the way, this is not that we meant to do it, but on the fly here, what Andrew and I are doing are what I do with the analysts all day long. Like once I leave this little fishbowl that I'm in, I go out there and we have 40 analysts and all we do is talk about ideas. So that's what we do. That's what most people pay us for on the institutional side. That's how we create a lot of long and short ideas internally. So that we talk a lot about these issues. We talk about the top-down view. We talk about the sector view. We talk about the stock view. We talk about the subsector within the sector view. There are a lot of different things to talk about, but you could really only do that if you have competent people and competent analysts to talk to.
ACHC.
Oh, ACHC. We're giving you some ideas here.
I think that was one you were looking at. We were talking about. The
Oh,
other
yeah.
day.
That and AAC. Oh my God, yeah. Acadia Healthcare Company. Woo!
Yeah,
That's like-
gotten hammered. Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, I mean, there's
people got crushed in some of these stocks. Think of all the things we made calls on this year. Staying out of the way of healthcare has been a good call. I mean, you guys have done a really good job with that.
No, it's down. I think XLV is down 4% for the year.
Yeah, Josephine, show the data. I think it's down 3 or 4%. Yeah, 3.57, right in the middle.
Yeah.
And that's awful. That's just a terrible year to be long healthcare, which means that there are going to be continued short selling opportunities of companies that have not only massive headwind to what we call the ACA taper or repealing and then replacing Obamacare, but then which is one of the main reasons to be short hospital stocks, or HCA in particular is the one we like on the short side. But there's also amidst the carnage, there's always going to be some long ideas. So I look forward to you guys doing that call on. I learn as you guys learn. So by the time they put put this nice little table of ideas together in the first couple weeks of January, I'll be writing them down and studying them in as much as you will.